What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. Today's gonna be a really quick video, but I want to talk about credit for a second. First of all, I am by no means an expert when it comes to credit at all, but I was just listening to a podcast where it was a Tai Lopez podcast actually, but Stephen Lau, the little swipe, the credit king, was just on there talking about his course or whatever. I'm not buying it or anything like that, but I learned a lot in these free trainings and stuff like that. I'm not going to share the advice that I learned because I don't want to be held liable for any credit card advice or anything like that. But I'm trying to learn a little bit more about credit cards because it's not something I was taught growing up, which I don't really blame my parents or my dad for because they had a lot of struggles with credit. There's no reason to obviously not do that, but they had their reasons, which I'm totally okay with. It's fine. But what's really interesting, well, first of all, this should be taught in school because a lot of it, when you learn it, it's like freaking mind-blowing, like little stuff that like there's rumors and stuff because people with bad credit, people that don't make their payments, tell you one thing when it's the other thing, or credit cards are bad or whatever. But the reality is you have to have a credit card to get good credit. And I don't care what Dave Ramsey says. I'm not an expert by credit, but having no credit does not mean you have good credit. Having no credit is having no credit history. And you need credit history for a lot of things in life. Plus you can, my goals and dreams with Profit Engine and with making money online and things like that, making a living online, working for myself, is to travel and do. And there's a lot of travel cards that give you a lot of good rewards. And the point of this video is just to really pay attention to credit and to pay attention with what you're doing with credit and learn everything, learn about everything in life, because a lot of the times, you learn a little thing. And like today I learned, and I actually spent like an hour just kind of talking about credit with my girlfriend. And I'm not a credit newbie per se. I had a credit card for maybe like a little under a year, but so I guess I am a newbie, but I know what I'm doing with my credit cards and stuff like that on a basic level, but I always like to learn, and I'm learning a lot because I don't know a whole bunch, but I'm not like a brand new, I didn't get my first credit card yesterday or anything. But it's really interesting, some of the stuff that you learn and getting different cards and how to be approved and how to waive your fees and stuff like that. So one guy recommended Stephen Lau, and I'm gonna probably tag him below in his Instagram story, or tag his Instagram below in this YouTube video, and the points guy, and I'll put his website below too, which is pretty interesting. Stephen Lau is like the freaking champ when it comes to credit cards. I think he's got $3 million in credit line, and he's like 20 years old or 21 years old now, 21 I think now. And then you have the points guy, who's always just pumps out content all over the place. You've probably seen him, even if you haven't paid attention to him, you've probably seen him all over the place. Points guy. Anyway, just take a look at your credit, especially if you want to travel and stuff. You don't need credit to travel. You don't need the travel rewards cards, but they can definitely help. No matter how much money you're making, it can always be nice to stay someplace for free or get a free upgrade or whatever. So, yeah, pay attention to credit. And one tip I will share that I learned, and I'm not going to be held liable for this, so that's kind of cool. So one tip I definitely learned, which I thought was really cool, is that, not cool, but it's really knowledgeable to know. Like, obviously everyone knows out there Chase credit cards are some of the best credit cards out there. Like, one of the best credit cards probably you can get is the Chase Inc. Business Preferred Card if you have a business. It's welcome bonuses like 80,000 points and stuff like that. And they have a 5 and 24 rule, which is nicknamed like that, and it's not like fully published, but it's pretty widely known in the credit world. But the 5 and 24 rule is, if you've applied for if you've opened 5 credit cards in the last 24 months, you're pretty much guaranteed to get denied with most Chase cards. And there's a lisp and all that stuff, not a lisp. But so that's pretty interesting. So I kind of took a different approach to what I was going to get, because I want a couple of these Chase cards. And the reason why I say I want all these Chase cards, a lot of people think that you don't need to. I'm going to give 2 pieces of advice, actually. A lot of people think that you don't need to have, or that you only need to have one credit card, and it's bad to have multiple credit cards, and having multiple credit cards but not using them is a horrible thing. I'm not going to give advice on that, but from what I understand, it's not true. Having multiple cards, you have this thing called average age of credit, and you have your total credit history. So your total credit history, if you open up a credit card 10 years ago, is 10 years. And then if you open up one credit card 10 years ago and one credit card now, your average age of credit is 5 years, but your history is 10. But your average age is only 5 years. So if you can open up more credit cards when you first start out, if you open up 9 cards, on day one, and then 10 years later, you open up one card, it only drops your credit score, or it only drops your average age of credit to 9 years, if I did the math right. If I didn't, you get the point. Anyway, there's a little piece of advice, but don't take my advice. Consult a professional, all that stuff. I'm not a professional credit card guy. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. And just take the advice from other people that have done really well with credit, and do some research online. The Points Guy, Stephen Lau, get an account on Credit Karma, get an account on Experian, and learn about your credit. And if you ignore something, usually it dies. If you pay attention to it, it tends to grow. What you focus on grows. Anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Pay attention to your credit. I'll see you tomorrow.